Hey there guys, welcome back to Houseplant Therapy. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you why your aloe vera plant is drooping and falling over. The aloe vera plant is a super popular houseplant. People absolutely love it. It has a lot of medical things you can do. Like you can literally cut off a piece of the plant and rub it on a burn if you have one. So without further ado, let's get into why your aloe vera plant is tipping over, or maybe the leaves are just drooping over. As you can see, we love ourselves some houseplants and fish aquariums. If you guys like this stuff too, please consider subscribing, liking this video, etc., etc. So let's get to the topic here. Your aloe vera plant, the leaves are drooping over and possibly the plant is dying. So let's talk about pure basics. So the aloe vera plant is part of the succulent family, and a lot of times what people screw up is they overwater this plant. You may notice that I just chopped the tip of this. We literally just did a video on it. And if your tips are looking brown like this, chances are you're getting too much sunlight. So that's probably not the issue we're having if your leaves are drooping. So your plant, this guy is actually drooping over here right now. So what's happening is a factor of two things. It's not enough sunlight and overwatering, because what's happening here in this case, the leaves are starting to curl up, and I'm gonna lean towards this plant is not getting enough sunlight. These plants love sunlight. So what you wanna do is stop watering the plant altogether, because on average, our plant shelf over here, our succulents over on that shelf right there, we water them like once a month. And in the wintertime, we water them like even less, once every 2 months even. And if our succulents start to look neglected of sunlight, we bring them over to our porch in here, because the porch has a lot more sunlight. So my advice to you is to put your aloe vera plant in a location in your house where it's gonna get a lot more sunlight, and don't water it for quite some time. Because what's gonna happen is these plants are really susceptible to root rot, because the leaves of these plants are full of moisture. That's the case with a lot of succulents. And when you overwater it, there's already moisture in the leaves, and the root structure cannot handle all that moisture. What happens is it starts to root rot. The root structure starts to rot. What will also help with this is using a terracotta pot. Consider transferring over to a terracotta pot, because the drainage holes, well, actually you should make sure that your plant has drainage holes, because that's a huge deal if the leaves are drooping or falling because of that as well. So what happens is when you put a succulent in a terracotta pot, what happens is you water it and the water goes out the bottom, but the terracotta stone absorbs what's left of the water in the soil. And also consider, I know this is a lot to handle, because you're like, hey man, I'm just looking for something basic, but I'm going through like everything. Consider the soil. You know, maybe you need to change soils, aka mediums, to a like cactus mix, something that drains a lot easier. We use cacti soil mix with pretty much all our succulents because it drains a lot easier. Hopefully this helps you. I'm trying to think what else. Maybe if your aloe vera plant is huge, you know, because some of them get monster, you know, like 3 feet tall, and you know the leaves start to droop just because they're so heavy. So what you want to do with that is consider maybe repotting. But here's the thing with succulents, they do like small pots, so it's a double-edged sword, because you know the plant can get so big and heavy because the leaves are full of water that it starts to lean and fall. But then, you know, the root structure also needs more room to grow so that it can hold the plant up itself. Sorry, I know that's a lot to swallow, and chances are you're looking for like a more simplistic answer. Honestly, if your leaves are drooping, chances are you're watering too much. So like I said, put your aloe vera plant, find somewhere in your household that gets a lot of sunlight, and just let it sit there for like a month or two and see what it does. If it dies back, and the plant completely dies, look into propagating it, because you can literally just chop the leaves, chop them up and plop them into soil, and they will grow, and you can start a plant over. It's that easy. That's what's really cool about a lot of succulents, is you can just propagate it and start over. So that is a scenario. That's what's really cool about this plant, even though I just said that. Well guys, without further ado, hopefully this video helped you figuring out why your aloe vera plant's leaves are drooping or falling over. Please consider subscribing. I'm trying to do a lot of these educational videos that kind of help people with houseplants. We do a lot of, I also have a channel on fish aquarium stuff with 60,000 subscribers. If you're really into fish tanks, Palmer Aquatics is the name of it. So please subscribe, hit me up in the comment section. We love ya.